All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. I feel like I like going live. This is fun. Um, it's much better than putting videos together and editing them and stuff. Just let it be what it is on live. However, for today, I want to do something a little bit different. You may have read the title, but I want to talk about the whole Diddy case from a psychic perspective. To me, it's interesting. Um, However, I do I don't want this to be gossip. I more so I and that's where I struggle. I don't want this to be gossip, but I'm truly interested. And I want to see what we're not seeing. I want to see the spiritual unveiling, the spiritual unraveling of Diddy, Cassie, and even Christian King Combs. Um, so I just kind of want to get into that, and I am letting you guys be a part of that. Um, yeah. So, anyways, as we look at Diddy, right? We know that he is a Scorpio sun. He's born November 4th, 69. And Scorpio is the sign of secrecy, seduction, spiritual power. And so that means that Pluto is Diddy's ruler, which is no stranger to control. I'm going through this because some of these things that we see, they're already written out. Um, they just haven't played out in some timelines, but it's already written out. Another thing with his astrological traits is he's a person that builds in silence. However, when Pluto entered Aquarius, it activated Diddy's fourth house of hidden foundations. Again, going back to the building in silence, it activated his fourth house of hidden foundations. So, what was built in shadows is now being lit by fire. So, this isn't just a court facing, and I know like so many things have played out since court, but walk through the story with me. It's not just a court facing, it's actually ancestral justice. Okay. So now we're going to go to Cassie. Cassie was born August 26th, 86. So that means that she is a Virgo sun and Pisces moon. So with Virgos, they bring grace and they also bring silence. But that silence is not to be misconstrued as a weakness. So Saturn in Pisces is now sitting on her moon, okay? Meaning anything that was repressed or likely repressed is rising or has risen. With Cassie being silent, it was strategy. It was strategic. Um, I I will say the way she approached that is right in line with who she is astrologically, okay? So now that brings us to Christian King Combs. So Christian was born April 4th, 98. A fiery Aries sun. And so from what I found out, his moon is either a Cancer or a Leo. Um, I really feel like it's a Leo, but it's either a Cancer or a Leo. Okay. So we have King Combs. We have the Aries energy being brave, bold, but also very easily molded. And with him, he's entering his Saturn return pre shadow. Okay. And what that means is he's really being asked, is he going to repeat the past? And we don't know what part of the past, right? Like, we don't know what that means. We can't automatically go to the negative, but is he going to repeat the past or is he going to rewrite the script? So, when we look at Diddy, we can visually see the empire crumbling. We see that, right? Um, but what some may not see is the resistance, okay? Um, his empire is falling, um, but there is refusal to atone. It's almost as that like there's trying to be some sort of manipulation um with karma, which you can't manipulate karma, okay? Um oh my god, can you hear that? That's my stomach. I'm hungry. With Cassie, um there's a light around her. And again, I'm not putting anyone in a category of who is good, who is bad. Like I'm not doing that with this. However, what this is saying is she's really becoming a beacon, she's becoming a lighthouse for others, for them to step forward, for them to voice their own stories. Okay. And then with Christian, I get that he's torn. He's torn between family loyalty and he's torn between what he feels that he should do spiritually, more of a soul calling, um, something creative, something that holds much potential. All right. Um, and if he falls in line with that soulful calling, he will become his own legend, not a shadow. And again, that's that Saturn return with him figuring out where it is that he wants to go, where he wants to fall. All right. What we do not see with this whole storyline are the illusions, are the spiritual contracts, and also the silent threats. Um, so Spirit is saying that there are three vaults, okay? One digital, one financial, and one emotional. Two are already open. But the third vault will be opening late 2026. Okay? That's when the third vault will be opening. So, right now we're in July of 2025, okay? What I see coming in this instance is between the months of August and October, there's going to be a public sentencing. There's something with like trying some sort of rebrand, okay? A public apology, a charity campaign, something of that nature. Regardless of how people respond to it, in the physical, it's not gonna work in the spiritual, okay? Um, by the end of this year, so around December 2025, it could go into January 2026. Um, but by the end of this year, we know that Mercury retrograde will be in Capricorn. So there's going to be hidden shell companies, leaked audio, some sort of financial betrayal that reveals itself by the end of this year. By spring of next year, or like right before spring, so like that March period could go into April, but like around March of 2026, um, this is really going to be some sort of the true downfall, the true like tower collapsion, in terms of reputation, legacy, empire, all of that being scorched. And with that, we see the rise of Cassie. Okay. So, um, what I do see is by fall of this year, I think there is going to be some sort of documentary with Cassie, memoir, book, could be like a Netflix documentary, something, right? Uh, there's going to be some sort of memoir, documentary, some sort of visual or like reading companion type thing. Um, so I, yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, there's something or even like Lifetime. It's something like that, okay? And it being directed by a Black female director. And I say that because I feel as though it's really going to be someone I'm not gonna say like any names, but it's someone that people know as a Black female director. Someone like producer, someone that has a name and she's going to attach herself to this thing, like if it's a documentary. Okay. By February of 2026, there's going to be a career expansion for Cassie, like a brand launch, something with beauty, like makeup, lip gloss, something that doubles as healing as well. So maybe like a balm, but it's something with like beauty and healing, um, but very fashion forward. By July of 2026, that's a year from today. By July, I see Cassie moving forward where she is helping others more publicly, especially Black and Brown women, and really being like a spokesperson. Um, all of that really being elevated. And her name will also be attached to some sort of like fund or survivors foundation, something of that sort. She'll have some sort of like nonprofit or something. When it comes to King Combs, um, as said prior, he is at a crossroads. Okay. By the end of this year, I do think that he's going to be offered some sort of brand deal. But not just any brand deal. It's really gonna be a big brand deal, or he's going on tour. And I really feel like it's gonna be coupled together, but it's like tour and brand deal. Um, so however, with this, it's more so tied to Diddy. So he wouldn't really be walking in his purpose. Um, and there will be delays if he accepts this and not following like his soul route. By spring of next year, I think that he's going to really be undergoing this soul transformation, possibly dropping King and only going by Christian. There's going to be a music shift, and there's also going to be some sort of maturity at place. And this is because his Uranus is going to be activated. Okay. By August, so again, like a year from now, because this is July, there's going to be a break with the family name. And it's going to be something that's very visible in terms of the break with this family name. Um, so it may be in like a lyric, maybe like an unfollowing or like something in his bio, something, but it's going to be a break with the family name. Okay. So, with that, let me know what you thought about this. I can definitely go deeper, but let me know your thoughts, and I will do more of these like little story time segments, spiritual, psychic story time segments. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts below. Thank you.